Mental health is important for first responders. There are roughly 3 million first responders. 30% of the 3 million need help or support. If they help us, who helps them? There's a stigma with first responders of if you're struggling, don't seek help. They feel if they seek help, it won't be confidential or that it can have a negative career impact. Personally, I've been around volunteer firefighting my whole life because of my family. While growing up and getting older, I have noticed more of the toll that some of the calls can have. Today, I would like to show you how the trauma and things that these first responders see affect firefighters, law enforcement, and emergency medical workers, and what we can do to help them. In the United States, there are 340 million people, and of those 340 million people, there are 1,041,200 career and volunteer firefighters. They work long shifts, but they are also pretty frequent. For most full-time departments, they work 24 hours, and in those 24 hours, they only may get a couple hours of sleep, but then only get 24 hours off duty before they have to go back to work. Sometimes they don't even get the full 24 hours off because they have to work the overtime, or they just pick up a shift for someone else who can't work it. And then volunteer firefighters, they don't have the set shift. They respond every time the pager goes off. This can be hard not only on the firefighter, but the family as well. Growing up, there were multiple times where we were going to be having a family dinner, and my dad would get a fire call, and I'd just leave his dinner and respond to help the person in need. The number of firefighter suicides is estimated to be at least 100 per year. According to the Ruderman White Paper on Mental Health and Suicide of First Responders, the suicide rate for first responders is 18 per 100,000 compared to 13 per 100,000 for the general public. A study from 2015 of 1,027 retired and current U.S. firefighters led to 47% had suicidal ideations, 19% made a suicide plan, and 16 had attempted suicide. Law enforcement and emergency medical workers are the same as firefighters in a way. For the most part, every call, the three groups work together for a common goal to get everyone safe. Law enforcement and emergency medical workers also have the same mental problems as firefighters because they see the same things firefighters do, or sometimes even worse. For police officers, roughly 17% experience PTSD symptoms. For ambulance personnel, 11% worldwide report PTSD symptoms, and 15% in the U.S. Police officers are 54% more likely to commit suicide than people not in law enforcement. 24% of police officers also had suicidal ideations at some point in their career. Officers who reported job burnout had a 117% likelihood of suicidal thoughts than those who didn't report burnout. Emergency medical workers are overall 24% more likely to attempt suicide than those in normal jobs. A 7-year study in Arizona was done, and EMTs were 39% more likely to attempt suicide than those in typical jobs. From the stats that have been shown here, first responders are more likely to suffer from mental health more than those in normal jobs. We as a nation and a community need to do better to help our first responders with their mental health. There are multiple things that we can do to help them with their mental health. It can be as simple as checking up on them and letting them know that you are there for them, or to find places for them to go to seek the help that they need. A couple solutions to get them the help is the importance of the early intervention, which is just knowing the signs early than not knowing them or knowing them too late. First responders need to be advised to seek help in the first signs of stress or trauma. Counseling and therapy is one of the best ways to help with mental health struggles. Peer groups is another way that you can get first responders to kind of talk with people who understand and go through the same stuff. And they help with first responders connecting with people who have seen the same things and understand what the job does to you. Sharing or even just going to these groups can help them find ways to cope and help reduce the feeling of being alone. Work-life balance is also a very important thing when it comes to first responders. It encourages them to participate in hobbies, spend time with family, or even take time off and not not work as many days as they already do. It also helps with reducing the burnout. You can also build a healthy department culture around mental health. You can do this by implementing the things mentioned above. You can also do this by adding opportunities to recover from work stress, like more time off in between shifts. So instead of the 24 hours off, you do the 48 or 72 off. You can also do this by adding opportunities to recover from work stress, like more time. Another thing you can do is use programs like Reach Out, Reboot, and Responder Strong. Using these, it can improve psychological well-being, supportive behaviors, and behavioral healthcare utilization. I hope from the stresses that first responders are involved in and the mental health stresses that they face, you can agree that it needs to have more focus on their mental health. If you see any of this in the world or experience it firsthand from a loved one, you would hopefully feel the same as I do.